Hey there, fellow adventurers. It's been a while. So I've been trying to make videos for the past few weeks, trying to come back and start making videos again, but I keep trying to make one that covers everything that's gone on over the past year because it's been really busy. And that just seems like an insurmountable task. So what I think I'm going to do is you'll get the story little by little as things happen and as I do some of the stuff around, and I'll just kind of jump into some of the stuff that we've got going on. So today my goal is on our land that we've got. So I've got 80 acres now, so we moved from a smaller place to a bigger place. I have a patch that I need to mow. So previously I was doing this all with my bad boy zero turn radius mower, and that was really a challenge. So earlier, I think it was this spring, I got myself what you see behind me here. It's a Massey Ferguson 65, circa 1964. So gasoline powered, about 50 horsepower-ish. Doesn't have a front loader on it, obviously, because I'm sitting on the front. But it's got a good 3-point hitch on the back and good PTO drive on it. So I got that, and I have myself a nice little 6-foot brush hog on the back of there. And I'm going to use that to go out and take care of some of this growth that I've got. The way the property is split up here is you got a bunch of trees behind me. That's probably, maybe a third of the property. Then 2/3 of the property goes out this way. We've got a big lake that takes up about 10 acres out there. We'll give or take a little bit more probably, because we've got a levee that runs along the side, and it's a created lake that's here. So the way the property is laid out is I have over here, I've got pasture. On the other side of the lake, I've got pasture. But this top corner that's back over there, there's a couple of creeks that make it really tough for me to previously get my zero turn radius mower over there. But now that I've got the tractor, I think I can get back over there, and some of this stuff has died down. So I'm going to give it a go. This hasn't been mowed, so previous to us owning this property, most of this was all pasture, but the lady was ill and passed away, and we bought it from her estate. So a lot of the land needs recovering at this point in time because it was kind of let go. So we had an excellent blackberry harvest this year, because I believe it's second year growth on your blackberries. It ends up making berries. So we had a pretty good berry harvest in a lot of that pasture area. So I think it's gone a couple of years without being taken care of. So anyway, this back corner is what I need to go mow today. We also have a couple of down trees down there. We had, earlier this year, there was a tornado that blew through and took out all the power lines up north of us. Nothing like, this stuff that's going on right now from like Asheville and areas. Like, we're not, it's nothing compared to that, but we had a tornado blow through, take down all the poles for miles, and we were told we'd be without power for about a week. It ended up being about 4 days because the crews were pretty amazing in getting everything out here. So, as part of that, we have a bunch of trees that are down. So really I can't get to the trees that are down because the growth in that pasture is so high. So my goal is to get out there today and knock the pasture down, so that way later I can get at the trees and pull the trees out of the fence that we've got over there. Luckily we've got no animals that are roaming over there yet. That's part of what we can talk about later. We've got chickens and pigs right now. We kind of want to expand this spring. We got to see how we get through the winter, but no animals to worry about yet. Neighbors don't have animals over there that we need to worry about getting through the fence with the trees on the fence. Not really creating too much of a problem, so we could wait. That'll happen in the summer, and we're kind of waiting until the fall and the winter when it cools down to get out there and take care of the trees. But I need to have a path to get to the trees, and that's what I'm going to work on today. I'm going to take the old tractor out there. So I'll try to get some footage of me cutting down stuff, and we'll see how she looks before and after the mow. Alright, so you can see back behind me here is the area that I want to mow at. So this area that's over here is the area that I haven't been able to get to yet. And what happens is right over there's a creek that starts from my neighbor's property and comes through. And right there, it's like a 5-foot drop off. But as I go over there, it heads towards the lake. So when I go over this way towards the lake, it actually, back in here, there's a little area that's maybe like ankle deep. So the hope is that I can take the tractor and get it across there and not get stuck. I don't know whether that's going to work or not, but hopefully that gets me to this area that's back over here. That's this unmowed area. So this area over here, I haven't been able to hit with any mowers whatsoever yet, and it's getting pretty high. And I've got down along this tree line over here, or property line, we got barbed wire and a couple of fences. I mean, they're trees that are really big around. Came down, big old root balls sticking up in the air and everything. So once you get over there, I'll show you a couple of pictures. I'll show you some pictures of those. But the goal is to try to get the tractor across the water here. Definitely can't do it there. Maybe I can do it over here. So we'll see how that turns out. Alright, I actually got over it with less fuss than what I thought. So I'll walk you over where I went over, and you can see it's a lot shallower there than it is in another spot. Alright, so took the tractor through over here. I did manage to avoid, there's this big log on the ground here. Managed to avoid that. I came through here. And this is where the creek gets pretty low, so not too bad here. I was able to make it through. Now I will say, the thing that I messed up when I first came through is I went off and to the right. And when I go to the right here, it actually takes me into this kind of land that's on the left side of this. You can see where it's kind of barren right here in front of us. That actually turns into another big creek. So really where I need to go is off to the left here. So I had to cook it to the left a little bit and get this area back in here, which is what I really need to get at. So did some adjustment once I got across, and I'm good to go. And you can see over here, so you can pan a little bit, you can see where the creek starts to get a lot bigger once I go back that way. So really happy I could make it across here. We'll see if I can do some mowing now. mowing's done, I am covered with filth. So I got a whole bunch of new scratches. I'm not really sure why I didn't wear long sleeves while I was out here. That was a definite mistake. I should have had long sleeve and gloves on. I think I was mowing through every thorn that we have out here in southeastern Missouri. So there's we got the blackberry bushes, we got some multi floral rose, we've got what the heck is the other stuff that's out there? Oh, my favorite, the honey locust. Thus far, none of my tractor tires are deflating, so that may be a first. So I should have worn long sleeves and gloves because I got a lot of little pokes and stuff, but we got it cleaned out pretty good. The big trees are behind me here. I'll throw up a little bit of video of the big trees. They came down in that big tornado windstorm that came through. You know, I've heard varying things about what actually happened there, so depends on who you talk to as to what the deal is. So here's one of the trees that are down. It's tough to get a good perspective of that, but as I pan over here, what you can see is the root ball. In the root ball you can see a T-post in there. And there's your standard T-post. So the root ball ripped up is taller than the T-post, and it kind of goes down into a little bit of a ditch there. So that's probably, what, maybe a 6-foot high root ball. I'm going to guess that that tree is a good 40 plus feet tall laying out there. So we've got one there, and there's one that's similar size, if not bigger, back up the fence line a little ways here too. So that's why I needed all this cleared out, kind of clean this up so that way we can get back here and take care of these trees. It's a big mess. Neighbor said they'd come give us a hand when it cools down and it's not so nasty out, and we're getting to the point where it's not so nasty out right now. Got her all mowed up. I think it broke again at the very end there, so I missed just a little bit because I lost that pin again and need to go to the hardware store and buy some of those. I did see there was a buck that ran through here while I was mowing. I think maybe an 8-point, I think is what I saw there. So I think this may be the first deer season. I got my license and everything, and I got my permits for deer multiple. I guess it's not deer, it's deer. I haven't. Yeah. Anyway, I've got permits, so I can get a deer this year, and gonna give that a go this fall. And there was a little bit of the season, but we're coming right up on that, and I've seen them, so I'm gonna try to get me one. So sun's going down. I am filthy. I think that's gonna be about it for today. Try to get back on and doing more of these and give you a little bit more information about what we got going on. We've got pigs and chickens, and we've been working on clearing some land out where the trees have grown in, and got a dock and just all sorts of stuff going on. We're trying to kind of get things moving a little bit, so hope to fill you in on more of that as we go along, and thanks for watching.